Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel for this Saturday morning, afternoon or evening across the world where you may be at. And today I'm going to be talking about a channel called Embracing Autism, who did a video about high functioning autism. Well, it was a stream live yesterday. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch it due to the time difference, but I will also apologise. I've been away recently. I've not really done much content or streaming. I've not been very well. I'm still not technically very well, but I want to get back on track with filming and uploading some topics for you to talk about. And this topic really intrigued my interest as a high-functioning autistic woman. I thought I would talk about it from my own perspective and give you my thoughts and read through the topics which they discussed in this video. So it's called high-functioning autism. The first topic they talked about was masking. Masking, they said, was they've been told it's a lack of empathy, and also it's a pressure to mask in society to be acting as normal. Masking, I have a lot to say on it because it's an in-depth topic to itself. I have talked about masking on a couple of separate videos before here on my channel, but I will talk about it again now in a general context to what they were talking about. So masking for me is vital, especially around people I don't know or know very little information about. Masking is essential because it helps me to protect myself from being judged, criticised or made fun of. It's also a way for society to make me conform or to be seen as following the rules of the everyday neurotypical life, which neurotypical means non-disabled or non-identifying as disabled. It's also then being seen as us being unreasonable or stubborn. I think this is because it's the way things are seen within the media, and we're seen as very black and white, our way or no way a lot of the time for our communication, which isn't accurate for all autistic people. All autistic people are different. So again, with regards to us being unreasonable, making unreasonable demands, I think this is a way just for us to protect ourselves and to make sure that we are coping in a world that doesn't really understand who we are in general. The next topic that they were talking about was professional settings. Unfortunately, this is something that I've noticed over time that is still not a very understood area with a lot of regards to professionals. It's still seen as a way of either being underfunded or not having enough staff trained within neurodiversity or autism to begin with. Also, when you are referred to the autism services where you are, or mental health services where you are, it's a short-term progression. You are seen, you are diagnosed, and then you are signposted or moved on to the next services that are available for you or tailored for your communication needs and further support in what you may need after your diagnosis. So again, that is only a short-term help and support. Socialising with other peers was the next topic that they briefly touched upon. So for us, it can be very overwhelming and complicated to communicate with others who may be like us or who may not be like us. Again, we are not often understood because a lot of people with autism, we communicate in different ways. We talk different, we may look different, we may act different, and therefore we all have our different own communication styles of who we are and how we communicate and what we are comfortable with saying and doing in one time. The next topic that was discussed was accepting, advocating and educating people on autism. Again, this is a big topic all by itself, but I want to try and condense it down into a topic that was easier to understand and to educate people. I think in society in general as a whole, we have got a lot better at accepting and educating and advocating autism, but we are still a very, very long way off letting autistic people advocate for themselves. I think this is because of the misinformation, the fear, the stereotypes, the stigmas that society and the media puts out there on behalf of autistic people and says we act this way, we be like this because of our autism. Again, autism is made out to look scary and bad and tragic and like it can end our life basically, which is not true, it's not real. Then we're often also seen as bad people or scary people, or that being autistic or having autism or being on the autism spectrum is a disadvantage and a bad thing. That really needs to stop because that is very dangerous and stigma to have. And also then it goes on to talk about the dangers of labels and levels of autism and the levels of functioning, again, which I really do agree with. I think, you know, we have to be very careful with labels and the way that we tell people and talk to people about autism and the spectrum in general. It's something that is a big topic, and I've had many people try and, you know, say they know better than me about my own autism, or they understand my label better than me, or they understand that I'm very highly labelled or highly leveled. You know, they say, oh, well, you're so high, and, you know, you're very independent, and, you know, Gemma, you don't need much help, and you don't need much support, and, you know, Gemma, you're able to communicate, and you're verbal, and you dress well, and, you know, you're well spoken, you're pleasant, you know, you're sociable, you know, and you make limited eye contact. And I'm like, yes, I do, but again, that's all because I have to practice fitting into this neurotypical world that doesn't like me, that hates me, that doesn't want me to be around a lot of the time. And the problem is with that is the fact that people misunderstand me or try and judge me for what my autism is. And it is a constant thing of I have to constantly fight to be accepted. I have to constantly fight to be supported and given the way of given the right information, the right help at the right time. And as the woman says in this video, that high functioning in the US is seen as level 1, whereas high functioning autism here in the UK is seen as level 2. So that is already a major difference within society. And also then she goes on to talk about autism facilities. Again, this is something that is very different from the US to the UK. The UK, we have very limited autism facilities available. It is based usually on need and within the National Health Service or the local mental health trust where you may be at here in the UK or abroad. You know, you have to be put onto a waiting list. So for me, I was referred via the GP and what they call the Link mental health community worker, who then referred me. Then I had to be referred from the GP to what they called the mental health access and treatment team, and then referred from them to the adult autism assessment team. So you have to jump through certain hoops to get to where you're wanting to and where you need to be for the right help. And also when you do get into the autism facilities or autism supports, there's very limited support available. Once you are in the adult autism diagnosis service for over 18s, at the time I was over 18 for the diagnosis, obviously, so you have to be very careful, and you're basically only given a short-term support. So basically what they do is they give you your assessment, your diagnosis, which can take maybe 2 to 3 years. Mine took about 2.5 years from start to finish. And then they will signpost you onto employment services, job centre services, you know, to get the further ongoing support that you may need to function with your autism and how to best help you, support you, guide you, you know. But again, we are very limited. We have very short-term services available here in UK for people who are needing help, specialist support, money support, mental health support, counselling, etc. It's all very much done on need, and you know, that's that. The next topic was reasonable adjustments. Again, reasonable adjustments, I will say, are done on need and each specific person. So again, reasonable adjustments are done on need and mental health basis. So again, each person is different. So this has become a recent issue for me because obviously I'm not very good at speaking up for myself sometimes, and recently my mental health has crashed, and I've actually just been told that I'm suffering from social anxiety, which basically means that my general anxiety has kicked off and my autism has put pressure on that. So now means I'm suffering with ways of communicating, ways of functioning. Like I don't want to do everyday chores. My appetite's lacking. You know, I'm really struggling to communicate during this video. This is now the 3rd time I've tried to film this video today, and it's getting me stressed out, anxious, and obviously when you're trying to get reasonable adjustments, you do have to realize each person is different. Some people may not be able to communicate their needs at all. They may need carers, parents, family, friends to communicate on their behalf. So I'm lucky my sister has been doing that for me, and my aunt has been doing that for me. So I've been very lucky I didn't have to literally speak for myself that much. I've been very lucky to the point where they've actually had my back and let people know what I want when I need it and everything else. You know, so it has been a really hard last few weeks. You know, I want to talk about this video though because it's important to me. I just want to make sure that I've gone through all the things that she actually did mention. But yeah, it's a very important topic. High functioning is a label, it's a diagnosis, it's something that is now diagnosed as autism spectrum disorder rather than high functioning, Asperger's or whatnot, because it's all been taken under the DSM as one big autism umbrella. But I hope you found this video helpful, and please, when you are considering autism as a diagnosis, or if you know somebody with autism, or you know somebody's going through the assessment, please do not give them their labels or their levels in their face, because you don't know how accurate and wrong that is. That's not accurate. So like, for example, people say to me, oh well, you're level 2 autistic, you're highly functioning, and you know, you don't need any help, and you're all good, and you're verbal, and you know, you're not struggling. No, Gemma. And it's like, actually, yes, I am. I've been struggling for weeks now. I haven't admitted that because I've really been down, emotional. You know, I felt really, really rubbish about myself. I felt so panicky and anxious, like I haven't wanted to do any videos. I have literally been wanting to avoid everything to do with social media or to do with my health. I've literally been ignoring it and pushing it down, and literally just been supporting other YouTube creators and other streamers who talk about autism or are autistic or have loved ones that are autistic. But yeah, I hope this video has helped you. Please give it a like, share and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you again soon. Bye guys.